Hey, this is Kimmy with Metal Deli, and we are talking to Ritchie Randall with Gravehuffer. Ritchie, how are you doing today?
Kimmy, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I was looking through my records today, and I've been playing your music since at least, I just put out show number 248 yesterday, and I've been playing your music since at least show 130.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So at least 7 years.
Wow.
Long, yeah, I know, right. So how long has Gravehuffer been a band?
Well, we've been around since 2008, and we were actually called Crom, like from Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
And, and we were called Crom until 2011. And
so were you guys, is it the same guys?
Yeah, it's the same guys. Yep, we just did the name change. We kind of went on hiatus in 2011. We had a tornado come kind of rip through Joplin, and it was a bad deal. We lost our house and the band space, and so we had to kind of figure some things out. And so we got back together in January of 2012, and that's when we changed it to Gravehuffer.
And how do you guys know each other?
Well, Mike and myself, Mike GLG, our bass player, and myself, and our original drummer, Larry Deerdorf, we were in a band called Initial Detonation, and this would have been like from 1997 until like 2000. And so we've known each other for a long time, and we've played music together, obviously, for more, years and years and years. So the chemistry was kind of already there. And Larry and Mike got back together in 2006, and they were doing some stuff. And Mike was playing guitar in that band, and then he didn't really like playing guitar all that much, so he wanted to switch back to the bass. And they gave me a call, and because I kind of got out of music for a little while, and started a family and career and everything. So, but I was starting to get the itch to play music again, so it was a good timing that they got back to me, and it's been kind of going since probably summer of 2008, and still going.
And has the music changed at all over the year? Has your style changed much?
Yeah, I feel like it's really changing quite a bit within the last like 3 or 4 years, especially. Because initially we were just like this mix of just hardcore metal and hardcore punk, and now I feel like we're starting to get a little more like the songs are getting longer, and we're just doing weirder stuff and incorporating keyboards and clean guitar and like melodic vocals at times, and I guess we're turning into old farts or whatever, I don't know, but like our 70s prog roots are showing or something, but yeah, we're definitely getting weirder for sure.
I am Buzz Aldrin, and I was the lunar module pilot on Apollo 11.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Blast off! Sights to the sky. No fear. Ambitions most high. Final accepted. System freeze. Distinguished like crosses. Big veins. Line of sight.
but Roger Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
And how do you know each other?
Well, it's mainly through music. And I've lived in Joplin, Missouri since, mid-'80s. And I think Mike and Larry, they were in a punk band prior to when we joined up. And, they've been playing and touring and stuff in like 94, 95. And I don't know how they met. I have no clue. But I know we met through, it was this local underground, like, zine. And I think it was called The Undergrowth. And a friend of mine, like my roommate at the time, we had this band called Satan's Ice Cream Truck. And it was, it's actually a strapping young lad, Devin Townsend. It's like it's a hidden track on one of his records. But anyway, it was just a two-man, like, industrial, weird, just silly thing, And we just had a drum machine and we just made noise. And we put our demo in this magazine, and one of the guitar players for the band Initial Detonation got a hold of it somehow, and then they contacted us through the cassette that we released, because we were putting our stuff out on cassettes. And
which shows you how long ago it was.
You're right, yeah. So it's like, oh my God, I'm really dating myself here. But so yeah, it was like it was like the good old days of trading tapes and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's basically how we got in touch with all those guys, was releasing a tape on our own, and then them hearing it and liking it, and then we just kind of joined up. And
lately, I've been seeing your name everywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
Is it like a sudden spurt? What's going on?
Well, Black Doomba Records they signed us last, when was it? It's been a couple years now. Mm-hmm. And before that, we were kind of more or less independent and putting stuff out on our own. We recorded and released a couple of full-length records on our own, pretty much. And Black Doomba, I had tried to get a hold of them and get them to sign us like a couple years before that, and they really weren't branching out into other forms of music other than like the stone or doom stuff. But for whatever reason, we convinced them this time, and so they put out the latest record, Necroeclosion, last January. And I feel like since that record was released, we've really got a lot more traction on social media and stuff. And we're also playing a lot more shows. We play 30 to 50 shows a year at least. And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we're like a big touring band, but we like to do these, like, our bass player Mike calls them ninja runs. And we just go out for these 2 or 3 day quick strikes on the weekends, and we'll do that a couple times a month. And so yeah, we'll go drive 8 or 10 hours and go play Wisconsin, and then we'll go play Colorado, and then we'll go play Ohio or Florida or just wherever. And we always try to make sure we book 3 or 4 shows in a row and just make a round trip out of it to make it worth our time.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, because I was going to say, what is the metal scene like in Joplin, Missouri?
Yeah, Joplin's kind of a weird place. It's about 50,000 people, and then we've got some suburbs of 8,000 here, 10,000 there. So the metropolis of Joplin's about 100,000 or so. And so it's not a huge town or anything, but the metal scene, it doesn't really exist, to be totally honest. Now, in the 90s, when we were initially getting together, it was huge. The punk scene in particular was massive. There was like crusty punk bands like us, and then we'd always be playing with ska bands, because there was just ska bands, like they were just throwing ska bands out left and right, and they're just everywhere. And so there was just like us, and then a ska band, and then occasionally there'd be a metal band. And so I think that's it. We just kind of combined all that, and so we tend to play with a lot of different types of bands because nobody knows what the hell we do. We don't even know what we do. We just play music, but Nobody knows what genre we are specifically. So we've played Doom Fests, we've played Death Metal Fests. It's crazy. We played Punk Fest. So it just, I don't know. We just kind of, for some reason, we're just lucky enough that we can kind of fit in wherever.
Which is interesting because most bands, really stick out in their subgenre. the three of you, or do you have specific songs that all of you agree on as your favorites, or do you kind of not?
Yeah, I would say we all definitely have our like specific taste. I'm definitely more on the metal side of things, and Mike, our bass player, he's more of the punk kind of thing. And we've got a new singer, Travis, which he came to the fold. Oh, he's been in the band almost 2 years now. And prior to that, it was James Heiser. He was in the band from 2008 till 2 years ago. But funnily enough, Travis and James are like childhood friends. So that was kind of wild getting Travis in the band and they're best friends. But yeah, it's really cool. You know, no animosity or anything. And we're currently going through a freaking revolving door of drummers. We're like Spinal Tap. And so it kind of sucks, but we're just getting people to help us out when they can, and it's kind of hard finding a solid, like, permanent drummer. But as far as that goes, and then Travis, our new singer, he's kind of into a little bit of everything. Like, he likes Frank Zappa and weird experimental music, but then he also likes, like, Dawkins and Rat and stuff like. I mean, I do too, but you know, Mike hates that stuff, and so it's weird. We definitely have very different tastes from each other.
And who does the writing, or is it everyone does a little, or how does it go?
Well, each album's been different. Like the very first album, it was all just collaborating, and we would just jam on stuff and just write 2 or 3 songs in a day or something. And they'd be just quick boom, 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 kind of like verse, chorus, and then like a weird section or whatever, and just some way to end it. Well, here within recent albums, some of us will record stuff on our phones, and then we'll bring it to practice when we're rehearsing for a set or rehearsing for, a string of shows or whatever, and then we'll just work on it like that. And then stuff even comes out, like new stuff even comes out from just working on something we brought in. And it's just kind of a little bit of, I guess, all of the above. And then, hell, we're even, like, Mike's writing lyrics, I'm writing lyrics, and whereas typically with James wrote all the lyrics. And then on this latest record, we all kind of pitched in on lyrics, and even Necroeclosion, I think I wrote lyrics to a song, and Mike wrote lyrics, and then our old drummer Jay wrote some lyrics, and hell, he even sang on a few things, and we're just.
And
we
when
just
was that
like,
record released?
It was January 15th, 2021, and
okay.
Yeah, that was Jay, our drummer Jay at the time. He was our permanent drummer, but he ended up, when COVID hit, he ended up having to move away, something to do with his family or something. And he ended up moving away like 4 or 5 hours north. And he got a job harvesting marijuana. And so he that's like one of his lifelong dreams, apparently. And we had no idea. So, yeah, he's harvesting pot.
Okay.
But, he's all about it. And we were trying to make that work, but it just got to be, he was driving like 8 hours a day just back and forth just to practice, and it was just too much, and we just couldn't make it work. And so he let us know he was leaving last January, I believe, about a year and a half ago, because he had been in the band since 2019, something like that. But, yeah, like I said, just drummers. We need a drummer.
And how were sales on that album? How did that do?
Necroeclosion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely sold better than any of our other records. Like, we sold more of that record than we have all of our other records combined.
Wow. Hey, good.
Like the label's gonna do a repress of the vinyl. Like, the vinyl's almost sold out, and I think he had 300 pressed. And we've had the CD pressed probably 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's only like 100 at a time, but I mean, we've probably sold, I don't know, 500 or 600, something like that. and honestly, not being able to play shows until last summer, basically. I mean, we had to wait 5 or 6 months to play shows to properly promote the record. So yeah, it was a little tough initially, but it keeps selling. You know, we sold 4 or 5 the other day, and yeah, like Bandcamp Fridays, we always sell a good handful of them. And when we play shows, we always sell them. And so yeah, this will be the first record that the Black Doomba Records has ever repressed. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, no, that's great. So speaking of shows, I've also, like, I see on Facebook that you guys are just pounding them out. I saw you were scheduled for Tennessee Metal Devastation Music Fest, and I was so excited for you. Like, that was all over the place. So what else do you have scheduled for this summer so far?
Well, actually, we got stuff. I don't know when this is going to air, but we've got stuff going on this weekend. We're playing Wisconsin. We got 2 shows, one in Wisconsin Rapids and one in Wasau. I'm probably butchering that.
I saw that. I did see that because I looked to see how far away it was from Chicago, and it's really far away. So I did look to see if I could go. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think the closest we're coming into your area would be Fort Wayne, and we're playing there. Gosh, when is it? September 3rd, I believe.
Okay.
We're playing in Fort Wayne at the Ruin, and then the 2nd we're playing in Indianapolis. But then I guess to circle back here, we're going to play in Colorado on Memorial Day weekend. We're playing a show in Amarillo, Texas, and then 3 in Colorado. Let's see, Pueblo, Colorado Springs, and Denver. June we're kind of taking it easy, and then in July we're doing couple of Ohio dates, and then we're playing in New Jersey Metal Fest, and that's Cranium Radio's putting that on. In August, we're doing a local fest here, and then we're also playing Dime Stock, and that's in Watertown, Wisconsin, which I think that's not super far from Chicago.
I never even heard of Watertown.
Yeah, it's like just east, or it's just west of Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, that's not too far. So you mentioned that you guys have toured or you traveled a lot. So do you travel together pretty well?
Yeah. I mean, we traveled from, like, last year we did some dates, and we did Alabama and Tampa and Atlanta, and we did some Tennessee stuff again, and Ohio and Indiana. Like, we're real excited about we haven't, for whatever reason, going west has never worked out, and so this Colorado 4-day run we got coming up is we're super excited. I've never even been to Colorado, so I'm really excited. So, and our drummer that's playing those shows, he's from Colorado Springs, and so
cool.
He's got another band he plays for there that he's pulling double duty. He's playing drums with us and then singing in this other band. so that'll be fun for him.
The same weekend?
And yep, the same shows, yeah.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, and they're called Tree of Woe. They're kind of a grindcore, thrashy kind of vibe. Yeah, they like to play really fast. But yeah, like I said, that Dime Stock Fest, it's 2 days. It's this August 26th and 27th, I think. It's Friday, Saturday. But Ex-Hoarder is headlining that, and so that's going to be awesome.
Are these all camping fests?
Dime Stock is. I don't know about the other ones, but Dime Stock's a camping fest. New Jersey Metal Fest, I don't believe it is. It's in a like a music hall. Now Tennessee Music Fest is camping. That's October 7th and 8th, I believe. But yeah, we're playing the 8th, I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that'll be really cool. And they already got vendors lined up. Like our label, Black Doomba, is going to be a vendor there, and I think they got tattoo artists there, and yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're also playing in July in New Orleans, and it's a 4-day fest called Creepy Fest.
Oh,
and that's gonna be really cool. Yeah.
New Orleans
Yeah, it's
always high. I can't imagine how it will be in July. That's insane.
I know. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm like, I've been in New Orleans once, and it was in July. it was in the 90s though, so it's been a long time. But yeah, we're looking forward to that too. We usually when we go on these long runs, we usually play a show on the way to and from. So we'll probably play like Little Rock or Memphis too in there. So, but yeah.
And who
who
books the shows? Do you do, or like how do you find them?
Yeah, typically either I'll book them or we have promoters hit us up. Which honestly, these almost I'd say all but like 3 or 4 of these shows we actually got asked to play. So, which to me is a good sign, I'm assuming. So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll get promoters hitting up our inbox asking us to play shows and fests and things like that. And there's a couple of these fests that were makeup dates from like 2 years ago, and they didn't happen because of COVID. And so we're making those up this summer. It's
crazy that show dates from COVID are still being made up. That's insane.
Isn't that? Yeah. It is. It's nuts.
And what is, like, do you have another album that you're writing? Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, this is where you were talking about music style. This is the album we really get weird on. And, like, it's going to be on vinyl again. And the first side of the record will be 5 songs of, I guess, your typical Gravehuffer stuff. I don't know what typical Gravehuffer is at this point, but I guess what I'm trying to say is it's the natural logical progression from the previous record as the first 5 songs. And, and there's one song on there though that's like really, really, really different. Like, I don't know what we were thinking, but it's turned out to be like amazing. Like, we worked on it last night, and we got it pretty much ironed out now, and we did like all the bells and whistles and samples and production and some mixing things last night. You know, the 3 of us, me, Travis, and Mike, and the album really just blew up wide open. We're like, wow, we really see where this first half of the album is, because the second half of the album we actually wrote first. And it's about, it's one song, and it's about 22 minutes, and it's based on Dante's Divine Comedy, the Inferno, Purgatory, and Paradise. And and so it's like a 3-part kind of thing, and that's insane. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. There's like, it starts out real mellow, like we got cello in there, and we've got horns, and we've got like spoken word stuff, and then it gets like black metal sounding, and we've got Cam Lee from Massacre singing on stuff, and James Murphy from Testament's playing a solo, and it's pretty badass. And then the Purgatory section, the Purgatory section is just, what we did was, oh gosh, I think it was like last fall, we just blasted our social media, and we asked people to send their blood-curdling screams to our email.
Okay.
And so,
just like anybody, like your fans, or you mean musicians?
I mean, it was just anybody. Here's the email, any format, we'll convert it and do all the work.
Right.
And we probably had, I'd say almost 100 files to sort through. And so we just peppered these screams in this Purgatory section because we wanted it to sound like just Purgatory, And so there's just all this crazy noise, and some people really, really got into it. And you could tell people were being dramatic, and it was hilarious. But it was a lot of fun doing that. And Tommy Stewart, who is the head of Black Doomba Records, he's got a band called Direwolf, and he was also in this band called Hollow's Eve way back in the 80s, and they were on Metal Blade Records, and this guy's toured with Slayer and Motorhead and stuff like that, and so he's the real deal. But he did some bass on it, and then his drummer did some percussion and all this weird stuff, and we did a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it just sounds like a cacophony. I mean, it's just this like chaos. And so, but we made it not like super loud. We made it to where it's more subtle, and so it's like kind of creepy. so yeah. And then Paradise was the hardest part to write, because it's like, oh, we got to write about going to heaven, like that's not metal. And so yeah, that was definitely a challenge, and but it's probably everyone's favorite part of the record. I mean, that's
awesome.
Yeah, it turned out so cool. And like,
when do you expect to release this?
Well, I'm thinking probably it's probably going to be 2023. I don't know when exactly. The problem is producing vinyl takes like 8 to 9 months. Like, that's how long the wait time is, because there's so many bands in front of you. And so that's kind of the issue. We plan on turning the record in June. So I mean, we're pretty close to having it done. When the artwork's almost done and the music's about done, and so we've just got a few little tweaks to make, and I mean, we're pretty much sitting on a finished record. So we just got to kind of arrange a few things and kind of bundle it together and say, here you go, Tommy, and let him do his thing.
That's really, really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's exciting you right now? Is it the record? Is it the touring for this summer? What's making you sorry? What's making you Ritchie excited right now? Is it the record?
Yeah.
Is it the touring? What's up for you?
Well, probably both. I mean, like, especially after this last couple of studio sessions where we've really started to make some headway with the mix. Now it's like we got a nice clear picture of the record, and so we're all like really like super ecstatic about it. And and then the shows too. Like I'm a road dog. I love playing shows, and the Colorado and New Jersey ones in particular. As you know, like I said, I've never been to Colorado, so I'm excited just to go and let alone play. Traveling is a bonus to me. I think it's a lot of fun. I love traveling, so that's another thing that excites us all. Mike's also into it. And, they haven't been out east really as much as I have, so they're really excited about that. And so yeah, and we're playing with some pretty well known bands, especially at the Dime Fest. And so yeah, it's going to be really cool. And yeah, it's cool. Getting ready to be super super busy.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's awesome. I'm very excited for you, and I've always been very excited to have you guys on the Metal Deli. And
Thank you.
So, yeah, no, it's like I said, I was looking back. I'm like, damn, I've had these guys on a lot. So it's always been exciting for me. So, yeah. So, all right, well, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'm looking forward to talking to you after the summer and seeing how the summer went, and then after the record comes out, and yeah.
Sounds good.
Good.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I love chit-chatting. So.
Yeah, I do too. And then hopefully if you get closer to Chicago, I'll be able to come see a show.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure we will. We played Chicago, not last year, year before. We played in where was that? There's a place called Bungalow Joe's, and it was Hanover Park.
Oh yeah, that's Chicago.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's where we played there. It was really cool. It was a really fun time. We played with this band called Witch Cross. They're from the area, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, well,
awesome.
Keep in touch with me, and we'll just follow you as you go along.
All right, Kimmy, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right, take care.
All right.